So I heard that you are having a live cohort class.
So the course is titled Building and Investing in Network Effects, and essentially it's a deeper and wider dive in all the topics that we've just discussed. So we'll talk about obviously how to evaluate the defensibility and prospects of startups that are built on network effects, which is relevant for the startups but also for investors looking at such companies. And we'll also talk about how to turn products into platforms, which was the topic of our previous podcast. So we'll cover all of that and more. It's a live course, so it's 5 sessions, 2 hours, completely live, cohort of 100 people, combination of startup founders, investors, and managers at large companies.
Yeah, so interesting because you wanted to have a live interactive class instead of the pre-recording video. So obviously make it really much more interesting. So what can they look forward to?
Doing things live makes for a much better learning experience. So we'll try to make it extremely engaging. Obviously, the other part is like we use live examples. So we'll walk through examples, and we'll actually as much as possible, we'll use the participants' own companies as examples. So we'll ask them, okay, well, what is one company that you're looking to invest in, or what is your startup, like what is it facing, or what is your product that you're trying to turn into a platform, and try to apply those concepts in real time to companies that they're very relevant to them.
Right. So you're going to use Andre promise on them, right? 30 seconds to turn your product into a platform for that module.
That would be really funny. We can do like a 20-minute dive where like every participant like comes at me with their company.
Yeah,
We can do like
fire.
all like 30 seconds, like how you turn it into a platform. I'm happy to commit to doing that. If people
A speed promise delivery, like speed instead of speed dating, you speed promise delivery. 30 seconds. Okay, what is it?
I will give you a crazy idea that you've never thought about for how to turn your product into a platform.
You're gonna have some surprise guests as well?
I mean, they're not surprise guests, but yes, we'll have a venture capitalist, someone who's very experienced investing in marketplaces. So they've been looking at marketplaces for many years. We'll have a startup founder, so someone who has actually founded a marketplace and is in the process of trying to grow that marketplace. And we'll also have an executive at a large company with successful experience turning a product into platforms.
Wow, is it from one of the customers that you guys have? Either Facebook, Visa, MasterCard, ADP, Equifax?
No,
we cannot say.
No, we cannot say, but it's definitely neither one of those because those were platforms from day one.
Okay, that would be the surprise, right?
The other thing is there's a lot of stuff we were going to go much deeper into material that we don't put in our Substack. Like today we went through 7 or 8 questions, right? We actually, when we look at like investing in network effects businesses, we have 24 questions. 24 questions around network effects. So there's actually a lot more depth you can go into, but obviously, we don't have time and interview to get into all of those nuances. But they do make for much more interesting discussions with a cohort of investors and startup founders who are actually interested in these topics from their own perspectives, real world perspectives.
I was going to say, your audience can actually, if they take a look at the Substack posts that it was relevant for today, so the one about the defensibility of network effects, and then they listen to our conversation today, they can already see that the conversation today actually goes already further than the Substack. So we already added a few nuances. So again, hopefully that provides a good illustration of how much deeper you can go into in live conversation into these topics.
And you can probably ask a question live to Andre and Julian as well during these classes, and that's the whole point of having a cohort, right?
Absolutely. And also sometimes other people will give their perspective, right? So you get that discussion going.
It's going to be Australian time zone, 9 a.m. for us. So it
covers North America, Asia, Australia, New Zealand perfectly.
Not good for Europe. Not this time. Next cohort will try to optimize it more for Europe.
Yeah, that's great. So you're going to have a multiple, region cohort.
Yeah, no, I think so. Having an Australian company and a US VC could be interesting.
So I hope you enjoyed this discussion that we have, which is about the most hyped and most confused topic amongst investor and startup, which is about network effect. Please remember to subscribe, like, share to other people, and definitely sign up for Andre and Julian's cohort class. We will provide the link below. Coming up in our next video, we will be talking about
chicken and egg.
No, the last recording we had was about marketplace and reseller, remember? That's what we said. Yeah,
Whatever. I can't hear because I've got rain in my background.
we can't hear your rain. No worries.